Hi, this is Larry, and thanks for joining me for an introduction to AccuQuote. Let's jump in.
When you log into AccuQuote, the first thing you'll see is the dashboard. The dashboard is split into two sections. The first section is the weekly calendar. This gives you a listing of every job by bid date that is scheduled for this week. On this screen, you can create a job. You can also go backwards in time or forwards in time here and here. You can jump back to this week if you are too far in the past or too far in the future. You can also view all jobs. If you click here, you're really going to this tab right here, which is a listing of every job in the company that's being worked on. So this is for everyone. This section down here is the job list. This is very personal to you. These are every job. This is every job that you are working on or that you are on a team that is working on. A couple things I want to show real quick is that just by clicking on the columns, you can sort them. So if you're interested in every job that you're working on that is won or active, you can easily bring them up here. Or if you're looking for every job that's open, for example, every job that's in engineering, very easy to get to the information you are searching for. Also the job list here, we have these search bars, so you can just start typing, and everything that's on screen that meets that criteria is immediately displayed. So very, very quick, easy user interface, allowing you to get to the data you need to get to as quickly as possible. I also want to talk about this top navigation bar. It's always in place. So this dashboard, calendar, contacts, templates, jobs, and reports, and then this setup gear. AccuQuote was created and really designed to be very easy and simple to use. So this primary navigation will always be here. So it's very easy to get around inside the system. Next up is the calendar. This is the bid calendar at a month at a glance. This was designed by some of our customers. We're very happy with how this turned out. It's provides a lot of information, very functional. First up is job status. So you can sort all your jobs by job status. You also have the ability in AccuQuote to create any status you want and as many statuses as you want and order them in any order that you want. So here are the default statuses: engineering, budget, open, submittal, one active, lost, completed. And then I just created this Larry status, but you can really change AccuQuote to track jobs exactly as you want them to be tracked, sort of the workflow through your company. Next up is division. You can also sort jobs by division. So you can see here I created an AccuQuote division, but I also created one for Baltimore boiler, one for Florida venting, one for testing. You can literally create any divisions and as many divisions as you want, and this really gives you the ability to sort your data very quickly. We see people doing geography for divisions. We also see people doing types of work for divisions. Last but not least is assigned. So I'm going to type Sammy Sales, which is a salesperson that I created. You can assign a job to someone, and then you can sort these jobs and look for a particular person or jobs that are assigned to that person. So I'm going to pick Sammy Sales, and then if I hit update, here are all Sammy's jobs. So it's very quick to see either by division or by status or by assigned what's going on and what jobs are going out the door. Next, I want to show you that you can drag and drop jobs as bid dates change. Very easy to just drag and drop them, and then we will update all the dates for you in the back end. Also, if you mouse over a job, you'll see the job number and its name, the alternate ID, who it's assigned to. This one happens to be assigned to me. The status of the job. This one's open, and then the subtotal or the value of the money that's on that job. Next up is I want to show you an actual job. So I'm going to click on the sample demo quote right here, and here is what a job looks like. So when you come to this screen, this is displaying a job that has been previously set up. This is the job header up here. Up here in the job header, you track the job name, the address, the divisions, the job status. Here's where you would update status, so you can see that. And all of these fields are updated or updatable by you in real time. Whether you can signify whether the job is whether you're named as basis of design on a job and whether it's a hot job, who it's assigned to, the basis of design for at the header level, the alternate ID is here, the bid date, who the engineer is, the general contractor, who the bidders are. You can have as many bidders as you want, and as you add bidders, you just are picking from a selection that we provide that you actually set up here in your contacts. So you can add and subtract bidders as you see fit. And then last but not least is the based on drawing date. Over here are your internal notes. This is actually a very powerful part of AccuQuote. This gives you the ability to, as your team is working on a job, they make notes in here. This is sort of a best practice. What we see is people put the date and then their initials and then the note. So you can see that this job on January 11th, we issued a 50% bid, and then through September 21st was when the best and final was required. So you can see that this gives you instantly everything about that job from a header standpoint, as well as all the internal notes. Down here is where you do your estimating or your quoting. So we give you the ability to create quote groups. You can create as many quote groups as you want. Really think of a quote group as a separate section of a quote or a bid. So I've created 2 quote groups, one for the cooling tower that I'm bidding and one for a boiler. You can see here we give you for the entire job the list price extended, the net, the sell, the freight, the base subtotal, the option, the profit, and the margin on that job. We update this in real time, and it's at the top of the estimating grid and at the bottom here. We also give you that same information by quote group. So if you want to know the profit on this cooling tower, you just have to look here. And if you want to know the profit on the boiler, you just look here. So in this grid, we have the type of offering. So we have equipment, so we have includes, we have options, we have deducts, we have descriptions that you can update right here. All of this information, by the way, came from a template. One of the great things about AccuQuote is that you create templates for things that you sell over and over and over again. You create the template once, and then you use that template to recreate this data. So it makes quoting very quick and very accurate. Here you can see where I have a quantity, I have my list price, my list extended. You give us a buy multiplier, we'll give you the net. You give us a markup or a margin, and we'll give you the sell. You give us the weight and a freight multiplier, we'll give you the freight charge. Alignment is a field where you can add or subtract money to align. Next up is the subtotal. So the subtotal is your total of your alignment, your freight, and your sell. And last but not least are your options. So we group all your options separately. So you can see I have 2 options down here, and here's the money or the value associated with those options. Here's the exact same thing for this boiler. One thing I wanted to show you was we give you a full suite of editing tools. So right here you can see where I highlighted, please note this does not include. You have the ability when you're creating a quote to make it look however you want. You can highlight things, you can add bullets, you can bold, all of this content completely customizable by you. So this is where you do your estimating, and I want to jump over here and show you a quote. So I created this quote a couple of minutes ago. Here is where you can print the proposal. You can also save proposal notes right here. Here is where you can add a specific quote for a specific bidder, and here is where if you click on this button, AccuQuote will automatically generate quotes for every bidder that you've specified. So it makes it very quick if you're doing quotes by bidder to just let AccuQuote do the work for you. I'm going to print the proposal. We give you 4 pricing levels. I'm just going to pick lump and group. I'm going to print this proposal. And here it comes. So I'm going to click on this Adobe PDF, and here you see. So it's Drew Mechanical is my bidder. Here's my job number. Here's my logo. This would be your logo. We have multiple formats for these quotes, so we can format them however you want. Here is the first quote group. Here's my cooling tower. Here's my description. I just magnified that a little bit, make it easier to see. Here's my description. Here's my net price for the cooling tower. Here are my options, my adder and my deduct. And then down here is my boiler. And then you can see here's that line that I want to make sure my bidder sees. Here's the total, the net price for the boiler. Here are the options, the 4 adders I have on this particular boiler, the total price, and then here's all my terms and conditions. Your terms and conditions are completely customizable by you. It's very Microsoft Word-like. And then down here I have 2 signature lines, one for the estimator and one for the salesperson. Last but not least, I want to jump over here and I want to show you a report. We give you a full reporting facility, lots of reports, lots of access to data in real time, but I want to show you something real quick. This job status report. I know this is a favorite. So every report that we give you, you can print online, you can immediately create as a PDF, or you can dump to Excel. We give you a date range, so you can pick anything, today, yesterday, this month, last month, this year, last year, custom range. I'm going to pick this year. But what I want to see is, because I know this is important, I want to see every job that's open with a particular bidder. So I'm going to pick Drew Mechanical, and I'm going to generate this report. So here is every job that's open with Drew Mechanical. And just like I showed you before, all of these columns are sortable. So if you want to say what open jobs with Drew Mechanical do I have that have the highest profit, and then what are the notes on that. So if you see here, if I type cooling, every job that has cooling in that description will come up. So here are all the cooling towers that I have generated where I have open jobs with Drew Mechanical that have a cooling tower in them.
Thanks for joining me for an introduction to AccuQuote. You can reach me at larry@accuquote.direct. That's larry@accuquote.direct. If you have any questions or are interested in how AccuQuote can help you quote better and close faster. Thanks again.